You parked your motorcycle outside a restaurant. Alarm set. Confirmation chirp heard. You came back 90 minutes later and the spot was empty. No snapped chain on the ground. No disc lock lying in the gutter. No alarm that any witness heard. The parking lot camera, if anyone bothered to check it, shows two men standing near your motorcycle for approximately 45 seconds. Then they walked away. Then your motorcycle was gone. What those two men were carrying looked like mobile phones. What they were actually carrying were relay amplification devices, hardware that extended your key fob signal across a distance far beyond what the manufacturer designed it to reach, tricked your motorcycle's immobilizer into believing your key was present, and allowed the machine to start and ride away without anyone ever touching your actual key. Your alarm never fired because your alarm did not detect unauthorized entry. The machine's own system registered a normal keyless start sequence. There is nothing in the event log to investigate. The police officer who takes your report has seen this enough times to know what happened and has no forensic path to follow. The method leaves no evidence because from the perspective of every electronic system on your motorcycle, the correct key was used. This is the method that has changed motorcycle theft from an opportunistic crime into an organized operation with specific target lists, specific acquisition hardware, and specific resale pipelines. And it is not the only method on this list. I am Jimmy. 10 specific motorcycles, the specific vulnerability on each one, and what actually protects you against each attack. Method 1. The relay amplification attack. Before we cover the 10 machines, the relay attack requires explanation because it appears across multiple platforms and is the method the title refers to. Every keyless ignition motorcycle, any machine that starts when the key fob is in your pocket, rather than requiring you to physically insert and turn a key, uses a system that communicates between the fob and the bike via low-frequency radio. The bike broadcasts a challenge signal. The fob receives it, responds with the correct rolling code, and the bike starts. This system was designed assuming the fob is physically near the motorcycle. The security assumption is proximity. The relay attack defeats that assumption with two devices. Device 1 is placed near where the fob is stored, near the rider's front door if the bike is parked outside, near the rider's pocket in a parking lot. Device 2 is at the motorcycle. Device 1 receives the fob signal and amplifies it. Device 2 broadcasts the amplified signal to the motorcycle. The motorcycle's challenge response system cannot distinguish between the legitimate fob at 3 feet and the relayed fob at 100 feet. The motorcycle unlocks, the motorcycle starts, the attacker rides away. The entire operation takes 30 to 60 seconds on a platform that has been mapped. The hardware to perform it costs between $300 and $1,500 on the gray market. It looks like smartphones. 2 people can operate it with minimal training. It produces no forensic evidence. The one characteristic that breaks the relay attack: signal blocking. A Faraday pouch for your key fob, a metallic lined case that prevents the fob's signal from being received or amplified. The cheapest effective security measure available for any keyless ignition motorcycle, under $15. If your fob is inside a properly rated Faraday pouch, no relay attack device can amplify a signal that is not being broadcast. The critical verification: test it. With your fob in the pouch, stand next to your motorcycle and attempt to start it. If the motorcycle recognizes the key, the pouch is not providing effective shielding. The metallic lining degrades with daily use. A pouch that worked 6 months ago may not work now. Test monthly. Motorcycle 1, Honda CB1000R and CB650R, keyless variants. The Honda keyless ignition system fitted to the CB1000R and CB650R in their smart key configurations uses the standard low-frequency challenge response protocol that relay amplification attacks are designed for. Honda's smart key system was introduced to give riders the convenience of a keyless start. The same radio communication architecture that provides that convenience is the architecture the relay attack exploits. The specific vulnerability: Honda's smart key does not currently implement ultra-wideband signal time-of-flight verification, the technology that measures the physical travel time of a radio signal at the speed of light, a quantity that cannot be spoofed because you cannot make a signal travel faster than physics allows. Standard low-frequency systems measure signal strength, which can be amplified. Honda has not migrated the CB keyless system to this more secure architecture. Who is taking these? Organized rings that have specifically mapped Honda's smart key rolling code architecture. These are not opportunistic thieves, they have acquisition lists. The CB1000R appears on them because of its resale value in the disassembled state, the engine, the electronics package, and the suspension components have established secondary markets. Protection beyond the Faraday pouch. A ground anchor and chain through the wheel. The relay attack defeats the electronic security. It does not defeat the physical security of a machine that cannot be moved. A thief who has started a CB1000R via relay attack cannot lift a chained machine into a van in 45 seconds. Motorcycle 2, Yamaha MT-09 and MT-10 Smart Key variants. The Yamaha Smart Key system on the MT-09 and MT-10 operates on the same low-frequency architecture as Honda's implementation. The relay attack method documented for Honda platforms works on Yamaha's system with equivalent hardware because the underlying radio protocol is comparable. The MT-09 and MT-10 have a secondary vulnerability that the CB platforms do not share in the same degree. Parts value. The MT-09's CP3 triple-cylinder engine has an active second market. The MT-10's electronics package, the quickshifter, the traction control module, the TFT display, all have documented resale value that makes the machine attractive not just as a whole unit for replating or export, but as a source of individual components. The documented theft pattern on MT-09 and MT-10 in urban markets. Two-person operation, relay device used at the rider's residence, while the machine is parked in the street overnight. The acquisition happens between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. when residential streets have minimal observation. The machine is moved to a secure location within minutes and either replated for resale or broken down within 24 to 48 hours. The additional protection that works on the MT platform, handlebar lock plus steering damper clamp. A relay attack starts the machine. It does not unlock the handlebar lock. A machine with its bars locked and a steering damper clamped in a fixed position cannot be ridden out. It can only be lifted. Any lifting operation adds time, adds conspicuousness, and adds noise. Each additional physical barrier is a deterrent, even if none is a perfect solution. Motorcycle 3, Kawasaki Ninja H2 and Z1000, the export target. The Kawasaki Ninja H2 and Z1000 occupy a different theft category from the Honda and Yamaha platforms. The relay attack works on equipped variants, but the primary driver for organized acquisition of the H2 specifically is export. A Kawasaki Ninja H2 retails in the United States for approximately $29,000. In specific Southeast Asian and Eastern European markets, it commands significantly more, either because of import duties or because the machine is not officially available there at all. Organized theft rings that operate export pipelines specifically target high-value machines that carry substantial price premiums in target markets. The H2 does not need to be disassembled. It needs to disappear from US roads and reappear with clean documentation in a market where enforcement is weaker and the buyer pool for premium machines with unverifiable histories exists. The police investigation dead end on export thefts. The machine leaves the country. It may be shipped in a container with falsified documentation, broken into parts for separate export through multiple channels, or moved through a country with lax inspection before reaching its final destination. When the machine is on a boat, the US investigation has effectively concluded. Recovered machines from export operations are rare. What the GPS tracker provides in this context, not recovery necessarily, but intelligence. If the tracker transmits location before being found and disabled, the data may identify a staging location used by the ring. Multiple trackers in non-obvious locations improve the odds that at least one survives a sweep. The tracker inside the rear subframe, inside the seat foam, and the hollow of the handlebars, each is harder to find than a unit mounted visibly. Every motorcycle on this list is more valuable with documentation, service records, original purchase receipts, VIN photographs, aftermarket parts records. If your machine is stolen and recovered, documented provenance is what gets it back to you, rather than into an evidence warehouse. Section 7 of the 2026 Motorcycle Buyer's Bible has the complete pre-purchase inspection documentation checklist. The same checklist that protects you when buying also protects you when documenting what you own. A machine photographed systematically with all identifying marks recorded has a documented identity that a recovered stolen machine needs to match. Section 6 has the dealer interaction guide covering what to ask when a dealer offers theft protection packages, what the legitimate ones provide, and what the warranty adjacent ones do not. Link in the description. Was $97. Now $9. Motorcycle 4. Harley-Davidson touring models, the van method. The Harley-Davidson touring line, Road Glide, Street Glide, Electric Glide, is not primarily targeted through electronic attack. The Milwaukee 8 security system presents a different resistance profile than keyless Japanese machines. The primary theft method on Harley touring machines is the van, and it has been documented since the 1980s. 2 to 4 people. A transit van or large SUV with rear seats removed. One person maintains observation on the street. The others lift the motorcycle bodily from the pavement and load it into the van. A touring Harley weighs 800 to 900 pounds. 4 people can lift and load it in 30 to 45 seconds. The van drives away. The alarm fires a second into the lift and continues firing inside the closed van. The van method produces no electronic evidence because it defeats no electronic security. It defeats physical security through human force and speed. The alarm does not prevent the theft, it documents it to anyone present. At 3 a.m. on a residential street, no one is present. The physical counter that works, a ground anchor. A heavy-duty anchor bolted through concrete, connected to your Harley via a rated security chain through the frame, requires the thieves to either defeat the chain or pull the anchor from the ground. A properly installed anchor can withstand multi-ton extraction force. The van drive-away becomes impossible. The chain through the wheel alone does not defeat the van method. They lift the bike with the wheel locked. The chain through the frame to a fixed anchor point is the specific counter. The chain through the wheel is better than nothing. The anchor is the solution. Motorcycle 5. Ducati Panigale and Streetfighter. The catalytic converter target. The Ducati Panigale and Streetfighter platforms carry catalytic converters containing precious metals, palladium, platinum, rhodium, in concentrations that produce $200 to $600 in scrap value depending on current commodity prices. Catalytic converter theft from motorcycles is faster than most riders believe is possible. A battery-powered reciprocating saw through the exhaust pipe connectors takes approximately 90 seconds on a Ducati platform where the converter sits in an accessible position. The machine is left where it stands. Nothing else is disturbed. The only evidence is cut pipe ends and a motorcycle that will not pass emissions testing. The repair bill for a stolen catalytic converter on a Ducati, replacement plus labor typically runs $1,500 to $3,000 at a Ducati dealer depending on the variant. The scrap value the thief received was $300 to $600. The math that makes this rational for the criminal is the same math that makes it infuriating for the owner. Specific Panigale variants from 2015 through 2022 are primary targets because of the converter's position and the accessibility of the exhaust connection points. The theft community has mapped exactly which pipe connection to cut first on this platform. The deterrent that works, catalytic converter anti-theft brackets, available for some Ducati platforms, create physical hardening that moves the operation from a 90-second window to a 5-minute window. In a populated area, that difference is often sufficient. In an empty car park at 2 in the morning, it is not. Motorcycle 6, BMW R Series and S1000RR, the diagnostic port vulnerability. BMW motorcycles from 2015 onward equipped with keyless ignition have a diagnostic port, the same port that authorized dealers and independent mechanics use to interrogate the machine's electronics, update firmware, and program replacement key fobs. The vulnerability, commercially available diagnostic tools, the same devices used by legitimate locksmiths, can, on specific BMW motorcycle configurations, execute a key deletion and re-enrollment sequence. This wipes existing authorized fobs from the motorcycle's memory and programs a new blank device as the sole authorized key. Done. The machine now belongs to whoever holds the new fob. The BMW motorcycle diagnostic port is typically located under the seat or on the left fairing. Accessing it requires removing a fairing panel on some variants, approximately 30 seconds with the correct tool. Once accessed, the reprogramming sequence runs in under 2 minutes on vulnerable configurations. BMW has deployed CAN bus security updates on newer models that add authentication requirements to diagnostic communications. Which specific variants receive these updates and when is not uniformly documented for owners. Some riders are carrying this vulnerability without knowing it. The diagnostic port lock is the mechanical counter, a physical cover requiring a unique key to remove, preventing port access without the tool, under $30. available for BMW motorcycle applications, creates a physical barrier that adds time and visibility to what would otherwise be a concealed 30-second operation. Motorcycle 7, Kawasaki ZX-10R and ZX-6R, the part stripping target. The Kawasaki ZX-10R and ZX-6R are targeted for a reason that has nothing to do with riding them away. The ZX-10R's front fairing assembly, upper and lower fairings, windscreen, headlight assembly, retails for $2,000 to $3,500 from Kawasaki. The same parts removed in a parking lot and sold through online classifieds generate $800 to $1,500 in cash the following morning. The ZX-6R fairing package has a similar value differential. The operation, 2 people, 1 on lookout, 1 with a socket set and knowledge of the ZX fairing attachment points. The front end of a ZX-10R can be disassembled to bare frame in under 10 minutes by someone who has done it before. They leave the machine on its wheels, completely stripped of fairings, windscreen, and headlights. The machine is where you left it. The parts are in a bag in a different vehicle. The ZX platform also carries OEM wheels that cross-reference to multiple model years. A set of ZX-10R wheels in good condition sells for $600 to $1,200 on the secondary market. The wheels are gone in under 5 minutes with a floor jack and a socket. The protection that works on a machine left in an unsupervised public area, a cover. A properly fitted motorcycle cover changes the target profile immediately. A thief cannot identify a covered machine as a ZX-10R versus a lower value machine. The decision to strip a machine for specific parts requires knowing which parts are on it. The cover removes that information from casual observation. Not a guarantee, but documented to reduce target selection in areas where multiple machines are available. Motorcycle 8, Suzuki GSX-R series. The chop shop target. The Suzuki GSX-R platform, specifically the 600, 750, and 1000 in the K series produced from 2005 through 2008, occupies a specific position in the organized theft ecosystem, not because these machines are new, because their components are everywhere and the market for them asks no questions. K-Series GSX-R components are widely compatible across model years and between the 600 and 750 platforms. An engine, a fairing set, a wheel set, a swing arm. All of these have established markets where cross-application compatibility makes individual components easy to sell without raising questions about provenance. The K-Series GSX-R is now 17 to 21 years old. Insurance values have fallen. Some owners have allowed comprehensive coverage to lapse on machines they bought years ago. A machine with no comprehensive insurance produces an owner who has lost everything with no recovery mechanism. The chop shop operation targeting K-Series GSX-Rs sells the machine as inventory, engine to one buyer, suspension to another, electronics to a third, through classified listings and motorcycle swap meets where cash transactions and no paperwork sales are normalized. The machine exists in pieces across multiple buyers in multiple states. Nothing is recoverable. The counter, comprehensive insurance, even on older machines, as long as the machine's value exceeds the annual premium. A K-Series GSX-R in good condition may be worth $4,000 to $7,000 on the current used market. Comprehensive coverage on a machine that age typically runs $200 to $400 annually. The math on maintaining comprehensive coverage becomes clear the moment you understand what losing the machine without it actually means. Motorcycle number 9, Honda. Africa Twin, the electronics, stripping target. High-specification adventure touring machines have become a specific target for organized operations driven by a specific economic calculation. The Honda Africa Twin CRF 1100L in its higher specification configurations carries electronics with standalone aftermarket value. The riding mode controllers, the traction control modules, the heated grip systems, the smartphone connectivity hardware, and on the most recent variants, forward collision warning sensors and cruise control radar modules. These components have established secondary markets where their individual value is disconnected from the complete machine's value. Stripping specific electronic modules from a parked Africa Twin leaves the machine sitting where it was. The rider discovers the theft not when the machine is gone, but when a fault code appears on the next start. The machine starts. It rides. Something is missing from the instrument cluster. Then the service advisor explains that a module valued at $600 to $1,200 has been removed and cost $1,800 to $2,400 to replace through the dealer. They took $300 worth of components. They left a $2,000 problem. And nothing on the machine surface shows that anything happened. The Africa Twin's additional vulnerability is model recognition. It is a visually distinctive machine. A ring that has mapped Honda's Smart Key Relay attack protocol and sees an Africa Twin in a parking area has identified a known electronic security profile, a known parts inventory, and a known resale pipeline. The machine's distinctiveness that makes it appealing to the rider makes it easy to identify as a target. Motorcycle 10, Harley-Davidson Sportster, the volume target. The Sportster is on this list for the same reason that volume and availability drive organized operations everywhere. It is the most available single-model Harley on American roads, with production running from 1957 to 2022 in various configurations, and parts compatibility across that span creating a donor market that organized operations have documented and exploit. A 2001 Sportster 883 does not attract theft because it is worth $6,000 as a complete machine. It attracts theft because its engine, its primary drive, its exhaust, and its wheels are all compatible with a machine spanning multiple decades of Sportster production. The parts sell individually for more than the complete machine brings on a used lot. The machine is worth more disassembled than whole. The Sportster's factory security on non-security equipped variants is the steering lock. This is not an immobilizer. This is a mechanical lock on the steering head that prevents turning the bars. It does not prevent a lifting operation. It does not prevent a determined thief with a transport vehicle. It adds 30 seconds to a theft operation at most. The Sportster-specific protection is visible deterrence layered, a bright yellow disc lock through the front rotor, a visible chain through the frame to a fixed point. The Sportster with visible physical security is not the first choice for an operation that has multiple options in a parking area. Volume targets get selected by differential, the one that is easier to take than the one next to it. The protection that actually works. Every theft method described here has a counter. None of the counters are perfect. All of them add time, visibility, or complexity to the theft operation, and organized operations select targets by efficiency. The Faraday pouch defeats the relay attack. Test it monthly. The metallic lining degrades invisibly. The ground anchor defeats the van method. Installation through concrete is required. A chain through the wheel alone does not anchor the machine. The Diagnostic port lock defeats port-based key reprogramming. It is a physical barrier on a port that is otherwise unprotected. The cover defeats visual target selection for part stripping. A machine that cannot be identified cannot be selected as a specific platform target. The GPS tracker, multiple units in non-obvious locations, provides recovery intelligence. It does not prevent theft. It provides data after the fact. One rider who gave police the GPS location of his stolen machine received a crime number and nothing more. That outcome is not unique to one jurisdiction. Tracker data helps. Police follow-through on it is not guaranteed in every market. The most consistently protective variable is location. A machine in a high-theft urban area with every countermeasure on this list is still more at risk than a machine in a low-theft rural area with a steering lock. The rider who has been on two wheels since 1971 and has never had a machine taken. Living in the right city is the security system that no device replicates. The countermeasures are insurance against the methods. Location is the primary variable that the methods cannot overcome.